to those cards I showed you guys, one of which had a skull. Destiny skull. So, sorry, nice music. We gotta get a different type of nice music. So, let's get started, shall we? Anyone have anything they need to do before we get started? More coffee or anything?
No.
Yeah, just let me grab a quick water. I'll be very quick.
Alright, he gets 30 seconds, starting 15 seconds ago.
Run!
Right there. I was talking with my buddy the other day, the one I work with, and he pitched to me a meme dungeon idea. Because he really likes the blood meme. Like, he's a part of the Bloods.
Mm-hmm.
So Red and Supreme and all that shit. And he always replaces the first letter of his word with B. So, and you can't say C and stuff like that. And he pitched to me this meme dungeon idea where every time you guys say the letter, like anything with the letter C in it, like something happens. And then I was like, what if they just lost 1 max HP every time they say something like that? And
God,
just like,
we
yeah,
would not live through like 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, I would be dead, like,
and then
pretty
he was
soon.
like, would you tell them, like, as soon as it happened? I'm like, that depends on if I want to fuck with them or not. If I whisper it to one of you, then that's I'm fucking with you. If I tell you guys all, I'm pretty sure you guys will just stop talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that's like just 1 max HP point per C, letter C word. So you can't say can't.
Hey, look, a
You
collection of
literally
cats.
Yeah.
How
A
catharsis.
collection of caps, cultivated, conglomerated, 4 10 HP, or 4 max HP right there. All right, so we're all here in rough manner.
Approximate
manner. Hit twice. Yes.
Jesus, passive perception of 27. How
Oh
did
my
that happen?
god.
Do you have expertise in perception and observant? For a character in another game. Oh, I see.
Let's see, max
Even
whiz.
so, though.
Max whiz plus expertise makes it 10, plus observant makes it plus 15.
That's
I don't know what
25.
the other plus- I'm trying to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess if you have max prof, then it'll be plus 12. So max whiz, max prof, plus observant, or some magic item. Sentinel shield would also give plus 5.
Screw our game, we need to know the math.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that hard to figure out.
Yeah. 9th level
Luck
20 whiz,
stone,
observant luck.
luck stone.
Oh.
9th level
Okay.
20 whiz,
That's only
observant,
plus 2, damn.
So, expertise or no expertise? It's their freaking bossy lady, the...
Yeah.
That makes
Oh, I
perfect
haven't
sense.
been muted
Yeah,
this whole time.
Duchess.
Yes.
Oh, weird.
Yeah,
I wasn't hearing
I
like
thought
tons
you
of
knew
background
that.
noise.
No.
Yeah, I thought you were like purposely being quiet.
Oh no, I would have muted myself. Oops.
Yeah, well, the thing is you're typing, so that's why I was wondering. Anyways, let's get to... oh, I'm sorry, Tango. Let's get to this. Who wants to recap? In honesty, if you don't actually go into detail about what each of the NPCs' backstories was, there actually not a lot of stuff happened, to be honest. So who wants to recap? You don't have to remember the NPCs' backstories. Resounding silence, I like it. Nice silence. Papers flip. Do you guys want me to do it?
Yeah, just like, how much did I write down?
Do you guys want me to do it? Honestly, isn't that much. Comparatively to like the previous session.
I'm just surprised Fred didn't start, but sure.
What are you doing, buddy?
It's hard to. I've got so many notes on backstories. I can't tell what actually happened on backstory.
Besides all the backstory information.
Allow me to clarify stuff then. The purposes of me doing recaps or you guys doing recaps is so that I have an idea of what you guys thought happened but me giving a recap told you guys sort of more definitively what did happen. So, we began last session at the Wayfarer's Fork with some retcon happening. You guys were on the second floor, and we're talking with your number of NPCs, disregarding Abigail and Varric. You had Tharbium, Lexuri, and Aesir, and Emil and Katya. Lots of people. Again, I won't go into terrible detail about the detail of their backstories, but rough accounts, just to give quick bits on all of them. You guys were curious as to how Aesir knew Bella Lasson, Royal Guard Inquisitor Bella Lasson. And he just says that they're from the same merchant group, and they were good friends, but they eventually went their separate ways by matter of association and not caring for what the other one associated with. Katya is a guard. That's how she met Emil. But then the Night of Tempest happened, and she's still a guard, but far less ambitious. Emil... did you guys actually talk about Emil's backstory?
Yeah.
Yes, did.
His parents were
that's
criminals, and he got sent over here to do some package
As
running.
he got here via indentured servitude.
Yeah, that's a good way to
But
put it.
luckily, his criminal debt holder passed away from the mortal coil during the Night of Tempest. Yay. He's all legit now. He's clean. Tharbium was an expeditioner back on the mainland, so far heading north, and he eventually found the brooch that you guys have, well, the Minotaur, who will soon be known as Ruhan, has currently.
Or did I
And
find
the
him?
curry is just straight up Anevros Alas, or Alas to be, but that sort of concept sort of faded away, unfortunately. So she's here now, because she thinks her talents will be put to better use.
The Alice that could have been.
The Alas I could have been, just like Jericho back from the first campaign. Oh well. So, there's that. While you guys were talking with your sort of NPCs and the like, a trio of heavily armored individuals that seem more akin to the gargoyles upon a cathedral than actual people. There is symbolism in that, because gargoyles are meant to ward off evil. I'm not sure if they will, but who knows. Showed up, intimidated a group out of the building, off of their table. They occupied it. The Minotaur, formerly known as Oreti, currently known as Ruhan, tried to talk to them to varying degrees of success. You got them to say more than they had previously, which is say more than nothing.
Yeah, I was impressed.
You also did get very drunk, and then tried to use that to talk to them about the preference of conversational topics of your group, particularly immensely sexual ones. I remember it was an exchange between Rose and Fia, wondering if these guys have ever had a sexual desire in their lives. I caught that one. Indeed,
I don't remember it, but it sounds accurate to what I would say, so continue.
Yeah, I feel like that might have been me. I apologize.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm not sure if
They
they're
tried to
technically
offer
alive.
the Minotaur, soon to be known as Ruhan water, to which he's like, "No, I have some, though it's okay." In his water flask. Before these got any more sense, I believe. Let's see, I'm trying to remember the order of events here. A lot of juggling right now since we skipped past the backstory stuff. Let's see. You then went to walk around the place, see if there's anything up, because you guys were operating under the suspicions that these gentlemen were members of the Accord. So you walked around the place and found no skulking people, and eventually employed the services of a bard. There we go. That's right. You employ the services of a bard, that of Peter Bruin. A familiar bard to anyone that's a first waiver, so Katya, Emil, Varric, Abigail. He unfortunately had little information to offer, and he unfortunately had to ditch his other bardic friend, Dyrene, the half-elf man, to fend for himself, playing just a somber tune. But he eventually returned to him after again, coming to the realization that there's not really much you can do to help here. Luckily, those three, you guys didn't have to deal with those three and the suspicion behind them for too long. Because the Wake Bears College, yes, that is indeed what their Bardic College is here in Driftweaver's Bay. Getting back to it. You guys didn't have to deal with them too long because soon enough, 4 more showed up. Luckily, they're sort of the honor guard, I suppose, what they are now, for Lena. And Lena is, of course, hounded by Jesse. I remember you, Ruhan picked her up and divulged that you guys have been talking about sex all evening, which Jesse found utterly delightful. And in her own words, I go where I'm needed. What can I say?
I don't think it was really all evening thing.
Yeah, but he was drunk, so.
Yeah, fair.
The 7 heavily armed and armored gentlemen, referred to as the Paragon Praetorian, then intimidated / annoyed another group into leaving, and then they stole that table, leaving the previous one for Lena and Jesse, which would then soon be joined by Anastasia and Darren, Kaylin and Ian, and Davis. But before that crew shows up, Lena divulged further information about the actual mission you guys would have to embark upon. Lots of information got doled out. I'm not going to repeat all of it because we're doing the mission right now, so hopefully you guys know it already. She also told you guys that you guys get a number of consumables, a number of gadgets. Some of her own craft, some of Anastasia's, some of a man named Oswald, who you guys already know who that is. She tells you that he's the head of toxology at Expeditionary HQ. Stuff like that. And then you guys settled in for a comfortable evening before turning in, I wouldn't say early, but early by your guys' standards. That being said, you guys have only been here a day, so the precedent isn't it's not a large enough sample size. Because you guys had to get up before dawn. You guys did. Jesse did not see you off because she wanted to fucking sleep in, but Lena did see you guys off. You guys got your gadgets. Met 2 Wayside guardsmen by the name of Abbott and Fillet. The lads are back. Traveled through the old town. Went to a cove some hour or 2 hours, maybe a bit more, south of the place, down the coast. Met with... Oh, wait, she's... Avatar's not there. I was pointing at it. I don't know why. You guys know what she looks like. Lorelei Kelthris. If you want to go for the honorifics. Princess Lorelei Kelthris, first of her name. But she said to skip past that, and she was honestly she did not want to talk to any of you. She did not want to be there. So again, diplomatic efforts. We're off to a swimming start. You can kill me now for that pun. That being said, Ruhan, he flexed. That was the exact term we used. He flexed. Okay. It was a 23-19 plus 4, I remember. Flex as you guys walk past her... I don't want to call them honor guard because that makes them sound personal. They're not royal guard. They're...
Entourage.
Yeah, entourage. I guess they are part of royal guard, but they're like reconnaissance scout royal guards. Not like a fully defensive detail one. More like far-going ones. There is 3 forms of communication that Lorelei engages you guys with. That of Common, that of Elvish, which is a bit of like this sort of aquatic variant that carries through the water better. Common is pretty muffled, as well as telepathically. Keep these 3 distinctions in mind, because, when you guys try to talk to her in Common, you guys gotta be a lot closer in order to do that, than versus just straight up telepathically, obviously. Speaking of telepathic communications, Lorelei noticed that there's something up with some of her guardsmen. Something a bit more of the enchanted side. She gave you guys a heads up warning to cover your ears. Despite such warnings, Abigail did fail her check and she was paralyzed for a round. So were 2 of the guards, though, not the other 2. That being said, you guys made pretty short work of them. Literally chucking them off the hippocampi-led vessel that you guys are currently on. Dealing with them non-lethally. That's a very important distinction. You guys finished out combat, and that's where we pick up. We pick up a short while after that. We're gonna skip past some, I want to say trivialities are really important, but some housekeeping details, so to speak. Lorelei did communicate with the Hippocampi and turn the vessel around to retrieve the guardsman that you guys, more specifically Ruhan, knocked off. While she retrieved them, because she's a lot faster than you guys, she brought them back and asked you guys to confiscate their weapons and just keep an eye on them. You guys note that while she was off going to grab them, she also grabbed something else. A very large, thick kelp. A lot of it. And she begins basically braiding them together, making rope out of them. And then she uses that rope to bind them up. Manacles of a more naturalistic sense. Putting that ranger training of hers to good use. Well, I say training, it's not necessarily that, but yeah.
Experience.
Experience, exactly. And it is after that which we pick up. So you guys have retrieved. I'll move us back to that map.
Would that time span count as a short rest?
Short rest? Yes, it would.
Cool.
That being said, I'm going to change the music right now, but as I do that, might someone designate themselves as the person actually checking these guys for any hidden equipment?
I'll volunteer if no one else wants to do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be particularly great at that, so.
I
All
can
right.
give you a hand for advantage if you wanted.
I want to know with that.
Roll perception with advantage. With guidance. Varric will help along with this in a semi.
He's using magic?
Well, I mean, Varric obviously has magic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good thing he had advantage, too. Jeez.
Oh!
26.
Thank you for making me look good.
It's literally our job right now.
I would say Varric doesn't cast guidance in a conscious sense most of the time. Or we'll say 50% of the time. I think it's a matter of you notice that whatever, the hardness he gives you for healing, you notice that it changes from, a blue to, a sort of golden color. Just for, a second. Just... You hear some astral gears turning, so to speak. So that's what his guidance is like. More natural than, say, I think Abigail had guidance the last time I met you. Literally just fucking point at you guys and shit would happen. So, that's not to say she doesn't have guidance now. I think she does again right now, but yeah. So 26. 26. Well, first off, let me change it. I have a whole fucking list of playlists right here. A lot of shit. So give me a sec. I'd actually find all this stuff. There it is. Yeah, music actually takes up one of the longer amounts of time, I've come to realize. Skip. Repeat. Boom. I'm a bit quiet initially. Where are you focusing your efforts, Cork?
What was her exact instruction? Keep an eye on them, make sure they don't...
Confiscate them and keep an eye on them. Confiscate their weapons, keep an eye on them.
Right.
Getting their armor off will take too much effort and time right now.
Yeah. Okay, so I would gather them... Okay.
Take your time. Don't rush.
So... I don't want to meta that. So would you say it would be obvious to Korik that there is a difference in how these two types of guards behave during the combat?
Yes. The guards that were mentally manipulated, they definitely had a lot of jerky nature to them. They're compelled by magic but restrained by willpower. Credit to them. The other two, on the other hand, definitely were not constrained or compelled. They did it out of, I suppose you'd call it, free will.
Okay.
Their attire is different. The two, we'll call them traitors because that's what they are, had more free arms and legs, so they're a bit more mobile. They also wielded these, saw blades or sawfish blades, my bad, sort of weaponry, versus the other two, which were more akin to your normal guard, you know, or heavy armor or medium armor, I believe in the case, long swords, stuff like that.
Okay, so I would separate them. I would put the sluggish guards in the left-hand corner of the top right here.
All right, I'm gonna move some people around. All right, so you got them right there.
And I would put the thugs over here.
Thugs, I like that. All right, put them here.
There's a black eye and a skull.
A little closer to roughly where Lorelei is.
A little closer, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Now place myself kind of like where Raitzi is hanging out, like right there.
Is Ruhan now?
Right, Ruhan.
Don't worry, we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm sure we will, hopefully.
Currently known as Ruhan. I see it now. The name, I shall try and remember. Anyway.
Yeah, it's always annoying when people keep changing their names because they can't figure it out.
So what's your new character's name?
Rest, reacquire 8 temp HP, courtesy of Abigail.
Right, that is a short resting.
So I would keep my focus predominantly on the two thugs.
Right,
And whenever I look away from them, the little companion of mine, Cracks, who is otherwise completely still, is going to animate and just, you know,
I like to
twitch
imagine
his
that.
head back and forth like a curious bird and just stare at them.
All right, noted. So you basically have constant eyes on them one way or another.
Yes, and I have my my normal sword drawn, and I'm sort of fiddling with it, and anyone who pays close attention will notice that it's a really worn sword, functional, but it's got nicks. It's battered. It's not a very nice sword.
Does it seem like it's old or just extremely used?
The latter.
Is it, despite its wear and tear, is it well maintained?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, something for more martially minded individuals to consider. Oh, I should probably put. No, they're all restrained. It'll be fine. So yeah, you confiscate their weapons. You do have 2 long swords. These are the equivalent of the scout long swords for the first campaign. So these are long swords with finesse on them, as well as 2 of these sawfish cleaver axe blade things.
Choppy Death's axe.
Again, you guys, I posted a picture last time what sawfish look like, and yeah, people have 1000% made blades out of their saws.
Why do they have those naturally? Like, what path did they take to have, like, a weapon attached to their face?
Why a swordfish has a sword. They are cousins of the swordfish, to be fair.
To stab.
The marlin. Very fun.
Yeah, there they are. Look at those cute boys. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll stick their weapons in the bag of holding.
And forget to give them back.
So 2 finesse long swords, 2 saw blades. Blade saws. I don't know. If this were older editions, I would say exotic weapon blade saw blade thing would probably be required for those. But this isn't 4 or 3.5 or Pathfinder like this music is from. So martial weapons will simply have to suffice. So you guys have confiscated their weapons, give them once over. All weapons are martials. Weapons, this is very true. That's very true. Shame he's not here right now. R.I.P. And you guys are on now the correct course back to Aphel Torrens. Noting the secured nature of her guards, quotation marks, around that. Air quotation marks. Bubble quotation marks. Double checking that the path is correct, communicating with the hippocampy in telepathic communication. Lorelai is at the quote-unquote helm of this vessel. It's not really like an outside area that controls the hippocamp. It's more we just ask them to do stuff because they are intelligent, and majestic creatures. So, Garth brought it up, but I'm assuming you all took a short rest while this roundup was happening. Yes?
Yes. During which I would have converted a packed slot to a single sorcery point.
It's the best gaming ever. It was so good. I didn't even realize it until
Afterwards. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Everyone else taking a short rest, yes?
Good old coffee lock.
Can I recover my silver bolt out of this guy's leg or wherever I shot him?
It's actually, there's a roll for this. It's a 50-50 chance. So roll,
yeah.
just roll a d2. On a 1, no. On a 2, yes.
E.
Yeah.
Where is it? There it is.
I think by the rules, it's just straight up, like, you get 50% back.
Yeah.
But since you only shot 1, I was willing to make it a roll, so.
Fair enough. I shot 1 and then asked many questions.
Yep.
And missed many questions, because God bless that one fucker with 3 HP.
There's a lot of things to talk about for that, but luckily Lorelai is courteous enough not to bring it up. You guys are out of your element, quite literally.
Yeah.
So.
And she clearly does archery stuff by the fucking crossbow and other bow. She doesn't do axing. Anyways.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Quickly, how's the sorcery conversion?